Hi, thanks for joining me today. This practice is going to focus on poses to help release tightness and tension in the shoulders and the hips. We tend to carry a lot of tension in both of those areas, and that can affect us a lot when we are in the saddle for those of us who are equestrians. So I don't think you need any special props today. If you have something to sit up on, like a firm blanket or a firm cushion, that will be helpful. We'll start seated. So come into a comfortable seated position, cross-legged seated position. You can also do this first part sitting on a chair if you prefer. But maybe lean a little forward, draw the flesh away from the sit bone so you can find that nice connection to whatever you're seated on. Just to think the same thing, if you're finding that connection with your seat bones in the saddle. Nice length through the spine, let the hands rest on the thighs, palms up or down, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Find that nice widening across the collarbones. Again, we're going to try to focus on getting rid of that little slump that we carry in the shoulders today. So if you'd like, you can either take a soft gaze down or close the eyes for a few moments, just noticing your breath and breathing. Notice any sensations in your body and just kind of bring a little awareness to your shoulders and your hips, and notice, again, do you know that you carry tightness or tension there? Is there maybe something there that you haven't been aware of, and maybe just that thought to check in brings up something for you in the area of the shoulders or the hips? It's important to know and to be mindful of as we move through this practice today. Just again, awareness to your breathing, just breathing gently in and out of the nose, letting the breath deepen by drawing the breath in through the nose, and let the breath drop all the way down into the bottom of the lungs. And as you exhale, think of drawing the belly towards the spine to help that breath release. So just keeping that steady flow of your breath as we move through this practice. And then very gently let the eyes open and just keep a soft focus with the eyes. Let the fingertips come out by your side. Again, think of this nice opening across the collarbones. We'll start with just a few rounds of the sun breath to warm up through the shoulders. So as you inhale, turn the palms up, float the arms up and overhead. Fingertips extend up, energy up through the crown of the head. And then exhale, turn the palms down, float the arms back down by your side. So again, think of linking this with the breath. Inhale, the arms float up. And then as you exhale, turning the palms down as the arms float back down. Good, we'll do that just once more. Inhale, floating the arms up and overhead. Exhale, the arms float down. So this time, inhale the arms just to shoulder height, turn the palms to face forward. And then as you exhale, crisscross the elbows in front. Let's start with the right elbow on top of the left. And then just reach around, give yourself a hug. Reach for opposite shoulders. So just feel a nice stretch through the back of the body, feeling that nice stretch between the shoulder blades. Coco's coming to help us today. Thank you, sweetie. Good. Inhaling and exhale. So we'll do a little movement here for the spine. So as you exhale, think of drawing the belly in, round a little forward. Think of a little seated cat pose here. And then as you inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, lifting the heart and the sternum. Take the gaze a little up. Maybe the elbows rise a little bit too. So do that a couple times. Just exhale, just rounding forward. Feel that nice stretch in the back of the body. And then inhale, coming up, lifting the heart and the sternum. Look up slightly, but don't let the head collapse back. Don't crunch the back of the neck. One more time. Exhale. And inhale. And then this time as you exhale, come back to neutral. Open those arms out to the side. Fingertips back. Think of really drawing those shoulder blades together. And then exhale the arms in front, left arm on top of the right. Same thing, just take hold of opposite shoulders, whatever you can reach back there. Give yourself a nice good hug. Inhaling and exhaling, and then same thing. As we exhale, we'll do a little round forward. That nice stretch to the back of the body. Inhale, tilting the pelvis forward. Lift the heart and the sternum. And again, maybe the gaze looks up, and maybe the elbows lift a little also. A couple more times. Exhale. And inhale. Good. Once more. Exhaling. And inhale. And then this time again, as you exhale, come back to neutral. And again, open the arms wide, draw the shoulder blades together, lift the heart and the sternum, nice length through the front of the body. And then bring the hands back together and to the heart. Take a breath here, inhaling and exhaling. So one more little movement, again, warming up for the shoulders. So we're going to bring the arms out shoulder height once again. And then this time, the right arm's going to float down, the left arm's going to float up, and then bend the elbows and reach toward the midline of the body with the fingertips. And then inhale the arms back up and down, and then back out to the side, and then switch to the opposite direction. So again, just think almost like a little windmill going here. So just getting some movement. This is a variation of our Gomukhasana arms, cow face arms. Typically we hold this for a couple breaths, but we're just going to get some movement here, just kind of warming up through that shoulder joint and the muscles all around the shoulders and through the arms. So one more time each side. You might feel a nice stretch in the triceps. Again, movement through the shoulders, and then once again, arms out to the side, palms facing forward, draw the shoulder blades together, maybe lift the heart and the sternum again. Nice stretch through the front of the body. Exhale again, bring the hands together at the heart. Pause for a breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. So we're going to come off of whatever we are seated on. We're going to come to all fours, come to table pose. So as you settle in for your table pose, make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. Think of drawing the lower belly up to meet the spine, so we're not letting the belly collapse down. We're engaging those core muscles to support the spine here. So we're just going to isolate, do a little movement here for the shoulders. So think of pressing into the palms. As you exhale, think of rounding between the shoulder blades, just the upper back a little bit more up towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, we're going to imagine letting the heart drop down towards the mat without the belly sagging down, and draw the shoulder blades together. So we're keeping the arms straight. We're exhaling, pressing the mat away, get a little rounding. It's not going to be a big movement. And then inhale. Think of drawing the shoulder blades together. Think of letting the heart kind of melt towards the mat. But again, we're not moving. We're going to do cat-cow in a moment. It's not that much of a movement, but we're just kind of isolating and asking those muscles between the shoulder blades to work. So do one more. Exhale and inhale. And then this time as you exhale, go ahead and round this whole spine. Take the gaze towards the belly button. Come into that cat pose. And then inhale, send the sit bones back. Lengthen the front of the body. Take the gaze forward and up into our cow pose. So keep that going a couple more times. Exhale. And inhale. Good. Once again, exhaling. And inhale. And then after this next exhale, we're going to come back to neutral, back to table pose. And then bring the hands, one handprint in front of the shoulders, press into the fingertips, the base of the knuckles, curl the toes under, lift the knees up off the mat, draw that lower belly in and up, engage those core muscles, and then keeping the knees bent, stay on the toes, send your sit bones up and back, come to a bent knee, downward facing dog. So really think of pressing into the fingertips, the base of the knuckles, help to take the pressure off the wrist, keep the knees bent to start. Nice length in the spine, nice length in the sides of the body. And then gently, if you'd like, you can pedal through the feet. So press down through one heel, get a nice stretch on that leg, and then switch to the other side. Just gently pedaling from one foot to the other. Keep breathing. And then come back to stillness, whether that's knees bent or legs straight, your option. Then we're going to lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. It doesn't have to be high, but just lift the right leg up. Look towards the hands, bend that right knee and step the right foot up beside the right hand. Lower the left knee down to the mat and curl the toes. Make sure your right knee is underneath that right heel. And then, or right knee is over top, that right heel. And let the hands come up to rest on the thigh. So nice release for the hips here. So think of drawing that right hip crease back. We're pressing into the top of that back foot, all four corners of the front foot, arms down by your side. Inhale, float the arms up and overhead. Bring the palms together and exhale the hands to the heart. Inhaling and exhale. So we're doing some movement for the shoulders while we're here. So interlace the fingers. Notice which thumb is on top. Inhale, press the palms away from you. As you press the palms away, think of drawing the arms back into the shoulder sockets as you exhale. And then inhale the arms up and overhead. Excuse me, make sure the lowest ribs reach down towards the hips. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale, bring the arms out to the side. Think cactus pose here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then draw the shoulder blades together. Get a little bit more opening through the front of the body. Exhale, bring the arms forward. Elbows, forearms, palms touch. Inhale, lift the heart and the sternum. Lift the arms a little bit. And then extend the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands down behind you. Interlace the fingers again. Same thumb on top that we started. Draw the shoulder blades together. Again, find that nice opening front of the body. And then release the hands, float the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, step that right leg back beside the left. Come to your downward facing dog. So again, knees are bent, or you can pedal the feet. Couple breaths here. Make sure, again, hands are still shoulders distance apart, feet hip distance apart. And then inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, looking towards the left hand, step the left leg up beside that left hand. Lower the right knee down, uncurl the toes. Again, check this alignment of the left heel underneath the knee, coming up. Just find that nice alignment. Think of that left hip drawing back. Press into both feet, arms down by your side. Inhale, float the arms up. Fingertips extend up. Again, lowest ribs drawing towards the hip. Engage those core muscles. Palms together. Exhale the hands to the heart. So interlace the fingers, opposite thumb on top this time. Inhale, press the palms away. Exhale, draw those arms into that shoulder socket. Inhale, float the arms up and overhead. Press down through the feet. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, release the arms. Come to that cactus pose. As you exhale, think of opening again a little bit more through the front of the body. Exhale, bring the arms together, elbows, forearms, palms touch. Inhale, lift the elbows and the forearms a little bit. As you take the gaze up. Exhale, come back to neutral, and then extend the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, release the hands down behind. So interlace the fingers again, opposite thumb on top this time. Draw the shoulder blades together. You can also just take hold of opposite elbows if that works better for you. Inhale and exhale. And then release the hands, float the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, bring that left leg back beside the right. Find your downward facing dog. You can always, if you prefer, take a child pose here. Knees to the mat. Uncurl the toes, fold back, forehead down to the mat or resting on your hands. Again, options, child pose or downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to lift that right leg once again. So coming back into that downward facing dog if you were in child pose. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Look towards the hands, step the right leg up beside the right hand. Take the back foot, left foot, step it a little to the left, turn a little to the inside, or excuse me, a little to the outside, draw the right hip back, float the arms all the way up and overhead, coming into warrior one. So we're just like that lunge. We're thinking of drawing that left hip back. We're reaching those arms overhead. We're really pressing into that outside edge of that back foot. Inhale and exhale. And then release the hands down behind you. So interlace the fingers the normal way you do first. Draw the shoulder blades together. You can, again, also just take hold of opposite elbows here. Nice deep inhale, open up across the chest. Exhale, begin to fold forward. So a couple variations here for humble warrior. Folding forward, you can stay parallel to the mat with the upper body. You can fold a little forward, letting your chest rest on the thighs. The back of the hands can rest on the lower back, or your arms can rest on your lower back, or you can let them come overhead. Just make sure your shoulders aren't dumping towards your ears. Draw the shoulder blades together. Same thing here. If you have hold of opposite elbows, you can just let them rest on the lower back. And then pressing into the feet, energy in the legs. Inhale, come all the way up, float those arms again back up and overhead. Exhale, both hands down to the mat. Straighten out that back foot and then right leg back beside the left, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, step that left leg up beside the left hand. Left heel under the knee. Turn the right foot a little to the side, step it just a little tiny bit forward and a little to the right. Left hip drawing back, press into the feet, float the arms all the way up and overhead. Again, find that warrior one. Inhale and exhale. So left hip's drawing back. We're pressing into the outside edge of the back foot. We're lifting the inner arch of the back foot. Inhale and exhale, lowest ribs drawing towards the hips. And then release the hands behind. So interlace the fingers opposite thumb on top this time. You might feel like you're holding someone else's hand. Draw the shoulder blades together. If you take hold of opposite elbows, let the opposite elbow be the one that's on top. Inhale and exhale. And then as we come for our our humble warrior, really ground down through the back foot. Exhale, hinging forward. Again, you might come just the upper torso, the torso parallel to the mat. You might come a little further forward, let the chest rest on the thigh. Maybe the arms stay on the lower back. Maybe they come a little overhead. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. So as we come up, really press into the feet, energy in the legs, what's going to bring you back up. Float those arms again all the way up and overhead. Bring the hands to the hips this time. We're going to come onto the toes of the back foot and we're going to step the right leg up beside the left. Come to mountain pose. So feet hip distance apart. Find your foundation. Inhale and exhale. So while we are here, while we're standing, we're going to do a balancing pose. A little stretch for the hips and for the upper body, eagle pose. So let's start with our right leg as our standing leg. So actually we're going to bend both knees to start with, almost like you're taking a little chair pose. And then lift the left heel, bring the left leg over the right leg and bring your big toe down to the mat. So bend your right knee as much as you need to. You can also, if you have a yoga block, you can place your foot up on a yoga block. And if you have a stool or a chair or a wall or something to hold on to, a piece of furniture for balance, feel free to do that. But letting that left leg come over the right, arms out to the side, right arm over the left. And as we did earlier, you can just take hold of the opposite shoulders or backs of the hands together or palms, scissoring the palms together. Find your balance, find your focal point. Maybe those left toes come off the mat, maybe they hang there, maybe they tuck behind that standing leg. Your option. Make sure you're breathing. That's more important than the shape of the pose. Inhale and exhale. And then as we release, we're going to unravel. We're going to take a big step to the side. Reach out through the fingertips. Nice opening front of the body. And then exhale, release everything down. Bring that left leg back beside the right. So now second side. So again, bend those knees a little bit. Lift the right heel, right leg up and over the left. Again, big toe touches down or maybe rest on your block. Maybe you have something to hold on to, a chair. Arms out to the side. Bring the arms in front, left arm on top of the right. And again, maybe just hold onto opposite shoulders or backs of the hands together or scissor the palms together. Find your breath, find your balance. Again, maybe that toe lifts up, maybe it stays on the mat. More important to have that steady breath. Good. Inhale and exhale. And then release the hands again. Now step wide to the right. Reach out through the fingertips, variation of our 5-pointed star. And then palms together. Exhale the hands to the heart. Just heel toe the feet back in. This time shake out the legs. Good. So we're going to do one last little flow to get down to the mat. So come back to the end of your mat if you're not already there. Inhale, float the arms up. Palms together. Exhale the hands to the heart. Fold all the way down. Inhale, come halfway up. Nice flat back. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, bend both knees, hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Left leg and right leg stepping back. Couple breaths here. Again, feel that nice stretch. Maybe even think of a little tick-tock of the hips side to side. Imagine your downward facing dog's wagging its tail a little bit. A little stretch in the outer hips. And then as you're ready, release the knees down to the mat and curl the toes. Come back to a child pose, hips towards the heels, forehead to the mat. If your forehead doesn't come comfortably down, you can make fists with your hands, let your head rest on your hands. You can also use a yoga block or a stack of books under the forehead. For a little bit more release in the shoulders, if you'd like, you can bring the hands back beside the feet with the palms facing up. As long as that feels okay for your neck. Couple breaths here. Just notice how you feel. Take a few moments to just breathe into the back of the body. Checking in again with the shoulders and the hips. And then as you're ready, bring the hands beside the head, press into the hands, draw the belly in, and slowly bring yourself all the way up. Seated on your heels if that's comfortable, or if you can come back to that cross-legged position or even legs in front. And just for a moment, maybe I'm going to close the eyes for a breath or two. Just notice how you feel. And see if you can take this awareness of that release in the hips and the shoulders into your next ride or your next activity that you will be doing later today or tomorrow. And very gently, as you're ready, let the eyes open. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this sequence helps you. Again, we have a tendency to carry a lot of tightness in the shoulders, and especially if we're under any kind of stress, you can kind of feel those shoulders kind of creeping up. And then conversely, that tension can also show up in the hips. So again, be mindful of that and use some yoga to help those areas release, so that the next time you're in the saddle, your horse will really appreciate that. So have a great day, and I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Thanks. Bye-bye.